This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 3. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." Verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth, risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami Camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 4, is that we're getting close to when the last piece of nuclear arms treaty will be deleted. All right, it'll disappear. It'll be taken away from the earth between Russia and America, which is beautiful because this goes along with prophecy where that red horse, okay, which are these Edomites, they're going to fight each other with that great sword, which are the nuclear weapons, okay, the ICBM missiles. And you can clearly see the trajectory that this nuclear war is coming, World War III, okay? And note for a disclaimer, right, because yes, we have to bring this out, especially in with this whole pandemic, COVID-19, vaccine, mandatory vaccines. They're going to push the RFID chip, the mark of the beast, okay, the microchip. They're going to make that mandatory before the nukes fly. You get it? Before the nukes fly. So before World War III kicks off with the nukes, disclaimer, the RFID chip will be made mandatory. And if you hate hearing this over and over again, like we always say, hey, stop watching our videos. But let's get into this because, hey, we are clearly at the end. Nuclear war is literally around the corner. Donald Trump, all right, it looks like Donald Trump ain't going to be leaving the presidency, but we'll see. But this New START treaty is about to be taken away. And so I'm gonna get into this article, Lord Williams edifying. After 3 rounds of talks with Russia wrapped up this summer, the U.S. is still equivocating and extending the New START treaty, limiting long-range nuclear weapons, which will expire in 6 months. Right, it's less than a year. A global arms race is looming, and it has been looming. All right, the Russians have been creating Satan II, Avangard. All right. America has been creating their own low yield nukes. But on paper, this treaty is about to disappear in 6 months, which gives all the nations, including Russia and America, who are Edomites, all right, to use that great sword, which is the nuclear weapons. When the 3rd round of nuclear arms control talks concluded this week in Vienna, it was clear that the American and Russian sides were still at odds over commitments to renew the New START treaty. The treaty signed in 2010 limits the number of strategic nuclear weapons deployed by each side, which is beautiful because let's go to this scripture. 200 million nukes. We stand by it. Okay? It's going to happen. Revelation 16. Excuse me, not Revelation 16. Salakia. Revelation 9 and 16. There we go. I'll start at 14. Revelation 9 and 14. Saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. Right. The Lord commanded the angels to stir up the pot in the Middle East, which is causing all these nations, all right, to be in the Middle East and have nothing but war and anger towards each other, especially the Russians and the Americans, all right, which are the two superpowers, all right. They have nothing but rage against each other, and that's done through the spirit power Yahweh Shem Shai to make sure prophecy is fulfilled. And that's why you're seeing a huge conflict in the Middle East, more specifically the Del Azor province, which the Euphrates River runs right through. Look it up. 15. And the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, for to slay the third part of men, right? Meaning you Edomites, you're going to die in this third world war, okay? NATO, a lot of you NATO military personnel, you're going to die, okay? More specifically, who's part of NATO? America, right? The horde that rides the beast, okay? Because the NATO is the beast, and America is that horde that rides the beast. 16. And the number of the army, here's the point, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them, right? So what's going to kill a third part of men, all right? It damn sure ain't no tanks. It damn sure ain't no warplanes, okay? Shooting out, small little missiles. It's talking about intercontinental ballistic missiles, all right? Surface to air intercontinental ballistic missiles that could destroy a whole city in one hit, okay? And 200 million are going to hit America, all right? 200 million are going to rock this place. Because it describes, when you continue reading down, what's going to destroy America? Babylon. And the number of the army of horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them, 17. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and adjacent and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire, smoke, and brimstone. 18. By these three were the third part of men killed, right? Talking about you Edomites, more specifically here in America, by the fire, by the smoke, and by the brimstone, which issued out of their mouths. You see? So, you know what? Let's look at an image of a nuclear missile. A nuclear missile. Let's look at an image. Nuclear missile launch. Okay? So the images. There you go. See, John the Revelator, he saw the intercontinental ballistic missiles being launched, okay? More specifically on America, all right? And he had to describe the missile the best way he can, because missile, intercontinental ballistic missile, all right, nuke are not in the Bible, okay? These are new words. So he had to describe it, what it would look like. And that's what he saw, okay? That's what he saw. And he had to describe it. So that's what you're reading. You read about the nukes. 9. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails. Right, power is in their mouth, meaning the warheads it right here, in the mouth, and in their tail, right, pushing, making sure this warhead hits its destination. All right? For their powers in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. Right? And you Americans dwelling here. All right? You Edomites, you heathens, and you 2/3, it's going to hurt badly. All right? So let's get back to this article. It says, however, it expires in February next year, as it is set to do, then there will be no statutory limits on the buildup of nuclear forces for the first time in decades. And guess what? They've been building their nukes, all right, since the 50s, all right, secretly. So the nukes are already here. It's just on paper, all right, it makes it legitimate to launch nukes at each other. Potentially, the situation will resemble the height of the Cold War when the U.S. and Soviet Union engaged in a dangerous and financially ruinous arms race. Russia has said it is willing to extend New START without preconditions for another 5 years, but the U.S. has made its continuation of the treaty conditional on China being included in a new trilateral arms control deal. Right? Hey, Moab is my washpot. All right, that thorn on the side. And guess what? All right, this is giving all the excuse for Babylon, all right, Donald Trump, to not continue with that treaty because he doesn't like China, right? The China virus, which, you know, I believe Donald Trump is going to be reelected. He ain't leaving. A new three-way arms control treaty involving the U.S., Russia, and China will be dauntingly complex and probably will take years to negotiate. Which, hey, that's the opera. Myself, Yahweh Shemi Shai. All right? Because this is his movie. He doesn't want a negotiation. He wants them nukes to be launched for judgment. Further complicating the matter is Russia's reasonable contention that any such comprehensive treaty should also include other nuclear powers such as America's NATO allies, Britain and France, right, who also have nukes. All right? And Britain and France, all right, they're gonna turn on America. The beast shall hate the whore. Get ready. China has said it has no problem with disarmament talks in principle, but that in short term, the onus is on Washington and Moscow to first show commitment to the existing control arrangements, since both of those powers possess over 90% of the world's nuclear stockpile. And that's the reason why I brought out Revelation, okay, chapter 6, verse 3 and 4. All right? That red horse with that gray sword, that's talking about Esau, Edom. His blessing was the sword. All right? And Russia has the most nukes. Russia has more nukes than America. So clearly, all right, you know, you Edomites have been found out, and you Edomites, you're literally walking to the tune of prophecy. China's nuclear arsenal is reckoned to be a fraction, 5%, of either the U.S. or Russia's. It seems quite clear that the U.S. is prevaricating over the New START treaty with the deliberate intention of risking a new global arms race. The unspoken purpose is to put pressure on Moscow and Beijing to come to the negotiating table as demanded by Washington for trilateral deal, or face the grim prospect of nuclear annihilation. Annihilation. Well, it's coming. Annihilation is going to happen. Instead of honoring its bilateral accord with Russia, the U.S. wants to use that as a convenient way to extend control over China, which has emerged as the major global rival to America's presumed dominance. Right, and that's the reason why Trump doesn't want to extend the New START treaty, because he wants China. All right, and you know, this reminds me of Isaiah 14, that cruel king of Babylon, Donald Trump. You know, I'll start at Isaiah 14 and 1. I want to make a point too. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob. Let's talk about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans, as well as the Israelite foreigners, all right, who look like the other nations, all right, because you're going to have Israelites that are going to look like so-called white people, so-called African people, so-called Chinese people, okay? What's it going to say? The strangers, which are the Israelite foreigners right here, and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers, Israelite foreigners, those that look like the other nations, all right, but their line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, right? And we're seeing that, all right? We're seeing brothers from across the world waking up to this truth. All right? Waking up to their true biblical nationality. 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, which is coming. All right? All you heathens are going into captivity. All right? You're going to serve us. They shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Right? And we're going to rule over you oppressors, especially you so-called white people, Esau, Edom. 3. And it shall come to pass in that day, the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the horror bondage wherein thou hast made to serve right. And this is what I'm getting at, is that we're going to the close, that we're almost out of here, and we're going to be at rest. All right? That's why you're seeing the mass awakening. All right? And while that's happening, you're seeing these nations getting closer and closer to nuclear Armageddon. Hence the reason why the Lord said in Revelation 7:1, oh, this is reminding me. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth. Right. So the angels are holding back who? These nations. All right. Holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. What's that wind talking about? All right. That destroying wind. Let's get that. All right. The destroying wind, the nuclear fire. That's what the angels are doing right now. They're holding the nukes from being launched because what? Hold on. We're going to get to it. But first, let me make this point. Jeremiah 51:1. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. Right. So all you nations, including Babylon, because this chapter is the Lord condemning Babylon, which is America. Right. That destroying wind that the angels are holding back is the nuclear missiles. And we're getting close for them to not hold it back anymore. Because why? Continue on too. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. Going back to Revelation chapter 9, all right, 16, 17, 18, all right, 200 million missiles, and all right, and they do hurt. 3, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till I have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. And who are the servants of the Lord? Okay. 4, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and they were sealed in 144,000 of the tribes of the children of Israel. Right. So the angels are holding the 4 winds back so that the elect could be sealed. And guess what? The elect are being sealed because look what's going on now. All right. Talks of nuclear escalation, the last treaty being disbanded. We're literally at the end. All right. And then when you continue reading all this, all the tribes being mentioned. All right. As well as if you go to continue down, it talks about the multitude. All right. The great multitude in 9. Revelation 7:9. And after these, so after the Lord mentioned all the 12 tribes, the 12,000 for the 12 tribes, it says, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number. Right. And don't get simple. This is not talking about the heathens. This is not talking about, okay, basically the heathens, for lack of better words. All right. All these other nations. It's talking about Israelites that are scattered throughout the nations, of all nations and kindreds and peoples and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with bright robes and palms in their hands. Right. So that's talking about the great multitude that no man can number. So there's going to be a big salvation. All right. A big salvation. And it's going to be televised. It's going to be a sight. Everyone's going to know who the children of Israel are. So let's get back to this article. And I'm going to finish up. Lord, when this was edifying. Salakia. Let me finish up with Isaiah 14. So we're going to continue on. So that was, I made that point. So Isaiah 14:4. So now, cruel Donald Trump, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? Right. Because America, you're about to be ceased soon. Okay. By you doing all this, all right, it's clearly showing you are the bad guy on the planet. 5. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the ruler. 6. He who smote the people in wrath and continued stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth. Right. And America, you've been ruling the nations with anger. All right. And you haven't been stopped. But now you're being stopped through the Spirit and Pav Yahweh Shem Shai, because you're literally going to the tune of prophecy. All right. And the Lord has set up his men, the prophets, to tell you that the reason why you got your strength, the reason why, all right, you've been given the position that you've been given, because it was ordained by the Most High for you to walk to the tune of prophecy. And you're literally walking into this World War III. Okay. And you cannot get out of it. 7. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing, right? Because once America is destroyed, the whole earth is going to be at rest, all right? Ain't got to worry about wicked sickos in America, pedophiles, all right? LGBTQ personnel. All right, I ain't got to hear no more democracy crap. None of that voting and now all this madness, all this confusion and abomination. Let's continue on, and I'll finish this up. I'm going to jump down a little bit here. It says, lamentably, that means as things stand up under the Trump administration, the New START treaty is doomed to terminate in 6 months. In that event, the last remaining pillar in the architecture of global arms control will disappear. Recall that this caps at a protracted period of undermining global security at Washington's intuitive. The United States side did away with the Anti-Ballistic Missile ABM treaty in 2002. Right, George Bush did that. Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces INF treaty last year. Donald Trump did that. And the Open Sky treaty earlier this year, right, which I believe it ends this December. Open Skies Treaty was giving Russia and America the green light that they can fly their own planes over nuclear weapon sites in each of their country. Trump got rid of that. So you're clearly seeing that Babylon, okay, that who rules the nations in anger. You're seeing it, man. And these nations are fed up, especially Russia, who has majority of the nukes. In a geopolitical climate of increasing tensions whipped primarily by the U.S. towards Russia and China, the last thing the world needs is the removal of another major nuclear weapons agreement. The Trump administration says it wants to negotiate a comprehensive arms control deal with Russia and China, but it's going about it the most counterproductive way. Such deal is required a bedrock of mutual trust. Everything about Trump's approach suggests bad faith and reckless incitement of tensions as a negotiating ploy. Right, Donald Trump is doing everything contrary to making it a peaceful deal. All right? Yeah, he is the art of the deal. The art of the deal to make sure nuclear war happens. Perhaps Russia and China can avoid being sucked into a vortex of arms race with the U.S. Maybe Trump won't get elected in November, which I don't see him leaving. Biden, all right, Biden is a joke. And Biden administration might step at the last moment. Well, this guy didn't do his research. I saw 2 articles where Biden's foreign policy is the same as Trump's. So, I mean, it doesn't matter who the president is. It's America's foreign policy is still aggressive and it's still against Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, Syria, right? In any case, one thing is sure. The United States government is at present is willing to unleash a demonic global arms race. Hey, it's beautiful because Elder Malcolm always brings out the word democracy, all right? Rule of the demons, all right? Demo meaning demons, and ocracy meaning rule of the demons. So yeah, America, you, all right, you're being ruled by demons. For sure, who going to go into this nuclear war race, all for the sake of satisfying a selfish strategic interests with regard to controlling Russia and China. The self-proclaimed leader of the world is behaving like a psychopathic pyromaniac. Yeah, that's right. Hey, and that's how we know World War III is coming. So Lord willing, lessons edifying. Hey, that red horse is Esau Edom. That gray sword he's going to use is nuclear weapons. Okay? And you best believe it's going down in your lifetime. The elect are being sealed. The angels are about to let go of the winds, the destroying winds. And boom, America, you're going to be destroyed. As the Lord has said in the Holy Bible, because that's prophecy. Okay? The Lord is a man that shall not lie. All right? First of all, real quickly, last scripture. This is the last scripture. Isaiah 49 and 9. Isaiah, declaring the end. Isaiah 46, Isaiah 46 and 10, declaring the end from the beginning and from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Right. So the Lord's clearly telling you, hey, I declare this from the beginning. Nuclear war is going to happen. My counsel is going to stand. It doesn't matter how many meetings you have, America, Russia, you're going to go to World War III. You're going to launch nukes at each other. And America, you're going to be destroyed by 200 million nukes. And with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Rukakradash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, Ruel, and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring. All right? Keep fighting. Keep pushing. One was out of here. For the few sisters that are watching, keep studying, keep praying. Shalom and a Bible ball. Shalom.